Welcome to the September 30th edition of the Index Sports Show. I'm Jack Nickel, managing editor of the newspaper, Logan Jackson, sports editor, and special guest, head football coach Greg Nesbitt. Welcome, Coach. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, both of you.
And we're going to be talking about football, previewing the Family Day game this weekend, and also talking a little bit about the season in general. Football team off to a 2-2 start, facing Central Missouri, and Family Day game this Saturday at Stokes. Coach, you've had 2 home games so far. What has the crowd meant to the team so far?
Well, quite frankly, I don't know if we'd have won the SPU game on the road. Of course, I've been here as a player back in the 70s and as a coach in the early 90s, and we were rolling pretty good, so I didn't really know what to expect in terms of following. And it was a loud football crowd. They were really into the contest. And then even last week, I'll say a miserable day against Northwest Missouri State. We still had good fan support out there, and I'm certain with Parents' Day, we're expecting a large crowd, and our kids enjoy playing behind them, and we appreciate it.
And as Jack said, you guys are going to be playing Central. What's it going to be like facing off against them? As you used to be the co-defensive coordinator there.
It's different. It really is a wide array of emotions, Logan. I recruited probably 15 or 20 of those kids. When I took this job back in December, I don't mind telling you that the day I shared with those guys, we shed tears, and I was one of them crying. You get very close. I'm in the greatest relationship business in the world, in the business of coaching. So there's some dear friends and great kids, and right now we're trying to compete against each other and get a win.
Yeah, and what kind of things have you seen on tape from Central so far?
Well, the first thing, their new head football coach and offensive coordinator, Jim Swoboda, and I'm not one that throws out a bunch of praise, less warranted. He's as good an offensive coordinator as I've seen. He's in another planet right now. He's doing a fabulous job, not just with what he's doing structurally, more importantly what he's teaching to you as a player and how they're executing. Eric Cerniski, who led the state of Missouri with 10,000 yards passing for a career, 313 yards short of setting the MIAA record for a career, and still has a season left if he chooses to exercise it, is playing phenomenal football along with Anthony Stewart, who I think one of those 2 kids could be the MIAA Player of the Year. Right now it would be Eric. Anthony's the best kept secret, both running and catching the football. There's Jamarcus Warren. They're really, I think they're leading the country in total offense, passing offense, scoring offense. So they're playing very, very good football.
Mm-hmm. You talk about the offense there with Eric leading the country in passing and setting all those records. What's the plan to try to slow him down?
Well, we had a couple 16-hour days trying to come up with a plan on Sunday and Monday. It really is a silly profession sometimes trying to come up with that stuff. But there's no magic answer. I think all great quarterbacks, receiving cores. Fortunately, we don't have to coach against Coach Swoboda. We're going to coach against Eric Cerniski and his offensive linemen and receivers. So we need to be in and out of coverage, in and out of pressure packages and coverage packages, and hopefully just keep him out of his rhythm and comfort zone. And if he's in rhythm with one structure, then we need to have the ability to get to another and play very hard and very fast and understand they're going to get some yards and move the football and not panic, tackle well in space, all those types of things.
And I guess one advantage you have is you've seen 2 pretty good quarterbacks now in Fort Hays, Mike Garrison, and the Southwest Baptist quarterback, and the Northwest quarterback. So that's got to be an advantage right there.
It is. In this league right now, when you look at the upper echelon of offenses in the league, they've got experienced, talented signal callers, and Eric's right at the top of the list. But we have it's nothing new. We've seen some good quarterbacks. I think he's playing arguably as well as anybody right now in the league, and his numbers speak to that. So we certainly have another challenge.
Okay. Overall, this season, team is 2-2. Let's go with offense here. Offense has relied on the running game so far. You've had 3 or 4 running backs and Phil Davis who've been able to run the ball. How much has that helped, having multiple people being able to run?
Well, I think it's big. One, competition is good for anybody, so it breeds good practices and competition there. And in this day and age in college football, quality high school football programs for that matter, it's not a one. Generally, you need 2 or 3 guys that can come in and spell each other. And it's really not a competition against those kids. It's been running back committee. I think they've enjoyed each other. So that's been a real positive. And our offensive line obviously is doing a pretty good job. And one of the few bright spots last week against Northwest is running the football for 169 yards. I know we netted 130. I think we snapped one over the head for minus 30, but at 3.8 on actual rushing yards against a good run defense. So we're making some strides there. And off of that, we've got to throw and catch the ball better. Absolutely no question about it. We're not doing a very good job on our pass game.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, you guys are 6th in the nation in sacks. How much of a focus has the defense been?
Well, I came in, I called the defense, was a D coordinator there at Central Missouri the last 3 years, and certainly folks know my relationship with Greg Williams, who's in the NFL, and he cut his teeth on a guy named Buddy Ryan. So I'm from that family, if you will, of coaches which are pressure orientated. We've been at times this year. We've shown the ability, Logan, to play good defense for long periods of time. Unfortunately, we've also had some lapses all the way back to St. Joe, a couple series in the third quarter, a little bit in the middle of the third, the middle of the fourth, in the SBU game, and then the last 5 minutes after playing 55 minutes of lights out football against Fort Hays. And last week, we played a very poor defensive football game. We were kind of back to ground zero. I like our defensive crew. They've adapted our philosophy, but we're going to try and stop the run and pressure quarterbacks and go from there.
Okay. Overall, when you came in the spring, the team was in a bit of a transition process, and then you've talked to me some about bringing in new culture, bringing in new languages. What changes have you seen out of the team?
Number one, as we're sitting here 2-2, coming off 2 tough losses. I mean, we certainly could have pulled the game out on the road at Fort Hays. It would have been a great win for us, but we were capable. But that was a tough loss. And then didn't play very well at all last week against Northwest. What I couldn't be more pleased with is, you just asked me as I walked in how practice has gone. Our team attitude, our kids, we don't have good kids, we have great kids. It's fun to come to work every day. They're totally absorbed. We're trying to get better individually and collectively as a team. That's all you can ask as a coach. So we're very pleased with that. And that being said, we've got to get better, and it's not going to get any easier as you go out. We're in the middle of a brutal 4-game stretch with Northwest, Central Missouri, Missouri Western, and I can't think past that. But 4 pretty good ones in a row right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, Coach, and Logan, and good luck Saturday against your former team and Family Day weekend as well.
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, man, that was painless. Thanks.
No, thanks a lot.